call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. Amen.
If it wasn't for the struggle, you wouldn't have the strength. God is always building you, even when it seems like he's breaking you. Remember this, it's very, very true. Thank you. So, tonight's topic is 1111. Did you in your wildest dreams think that all of that could be part of this gateway? But it is. It really is. This alignment with the 1111, it happens twice a day. Set your phone alarm so that you can enjoy seeing that pop up on your phone. I also do it at 111, 222, 333, and so on and so forth. Because these numbers have a vibration to it, that I wanted to carry my prayer. And always make your prayer positive when you speak. I want to go over some of what was talked about on this video. The thoughts and actions for keys to your reality. You know, everything that runs through your mind, everything that comes out of your mouth, everything that we say and do, and what we observe around us is an influence and a guide of what's going on inside us. If your life is bringing people who are troubled, angry, frustrated, find out what is going on inside you. Find out what it is that's troubling you. You will be so surprised that it isn't just what you're observing, that it actually is a layer that is ready for you to address in you. Does that mean you have to stay right in front of all that noise? No. Soon as you get the signal, step away and go take care of business. Because there is nobody more important to you than you. You. You are the center of your world. You are your everything. And as you give attention to the needs of your emotional, mental, and physical bodies, you will start to heal on multiple levels simultaneously. Nothing that comes into your life is a mistake or an error. It isn't. It's definitely planned by your own higher self for you to do your best that day, for you to see yourself and others in circumstances, how you respond or react in whatever's going on inside you. You will see it and recognize it outside you. Did you ever find yourself just agitated for no apparent reason? Nothing. No reason at all. But there is a reason. There is a layer that's come up that needs to be addressed. Half the time I'm just surprised at what comes up. And I'm just spending every day going through each thing that comes up and blessing it, not trying to figure it out, not trying to fix it or make it go away. I've done all of that. Have you? Have you gotten out the emotions? The 1111, it doesn't even have to be in front of you, because that gateway, if you just think of that gateway, it is a cosmic gift to you to directly get the influence of the light and power of God's energy coming in through the gate, and you releasing what you need to through the gate. I use the gateway for everything, both directions. In your lifetime, you'll get to know yourself, believe it or not, by observing everything around you more than you know. Other people see you in a very different way than you see yourself. It's true. And it's usually that it's more delighted with you, people, others. But you concentrate on the things that you fear about yourself, or that you failed, or that you didn't do as good as you wanted to, or that you're not measuring up to other people. And that is a very painful way to live.
Mm-hmm.
So the 1111 is the reminder. It's a reminder to you that there's a gateway open for direct gifts and shifts and changes, always available, always ready for you. Acknowledge it, ask for help. I ask for help all day long. All day long. Everything. They're not too busy. They have nothing else to do but to serve. That's why they're there. I hear people say, oh, I don't want to bother Jesus. Well, then ask somebody else. They're all waiting to help you. That's the life of service. And that's what you'll enter into as you get rid of all the me stuff. That's all 3D, 4D. And when you're done with that, the only thing you'll want to do is serve and be a blessing to everyone and everything around you. On the brink of a profound awakening, at this very moment in time, every single hour is bringing us closer to our goal of ascending out of 3 and 4D. So think of every moment, everything that happens as a gift to be cherished and utilized when it happens. Not later, not tomorrow, not on the weekend, not when I'm not so busy, but right at that moment. That's your holy moment, because those layers are moving. And once it moves and turns over and goes back down, you lost your holy moment. Let's see what the next layer brings up. Sometimes it's similar energy, so you can ace it. Other times it's on a completely different trajectory. Open up to embrace the wonders that await you. You know, when we live in fear or worry, it really holds us back. It does. It holds us back from the joy that's yours every moment, even when you're going through something. That should be, if you look at this as a gift, a holy moment. I don't look at days when I'm working on myself as a bad day. It's a good day, because I don't have to do this tomorrow. I took care of it today. Never go to sleep with stuff on your heart. Take care of it before you go to bed. Really. If you have something to say, get it out. If you have something to cry about, would you just cry it out? And when you're done, you'll feel like a 10 pounds lighter. Why do we live in misery? Because we're used to it. We're used to it. Don't be used to it anymore. Be done with it. Choose the path of joy. It's yours for the taking. However, there is work to be done. We don't deny that. And when we dance around and just want to be happy, when we know we're not inside, we're missing a big opportunity that's going to come into tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because it doesn't go away. And even if you leave this plane and come back, it comes back with you. You can't escape yourself. You're always going to be you. So who do you want to be? What version of yourself? The 1111 reminds us that we can be the totality of our divinity. We can reach the pinnacle of divine expression. It's all our choice. I always said to myself, okay, do it now, do it later. But Barbara, you're going to have to do this. And I chose to get it done with. Maybe it's the Aries in me. I want to move on. I want to be in the adventure. I don't want to be tied down, weighed down. I don't want the pain coming back later. I want to be free. Do you? We can only free ourselves. Stay humble. Well, for some reason, they played that twice with different video pictures. And I wrote to John, I said, John, did you notice that? He said, yeah. But you know what? Not for nothing, but John's right. That is one of the big stumbling blocks of humanity. We get so full of ourselves when we have some kind of accomplishment where we feel like, I'm there, I did it, I am ascended. But we're not. It's a plateau, a resting moment. I've been there 100 times, especially early on when you really don't understand the long road of ascension. And I just have to laugh about it now. I used to get mad at myself. I don't bother with that anymore. I found a great deal of humor in the whole journey. And it's a good place to be. It took me a long time to get there. Please skip all of that. Just go right into it. It's time for us to lighten up. Lighten up. Laugh at ourselves. See how silly we are. Why do I hang on to that nonsense that I always did? Why do I need to be stroked by everybody? Why do I need to know that I'm so wonderful? It's all ego. It's all ego. And the ego fools us and makes us think, oh, we're so wonderful. But you know what? We are wonderful. We don't need anybody to tell us. God created you as wonderful. God created you as love and light, joy, wisdom, fearless. What happened to us? How did we buy into all of this? Let it all go. Work on yourself. Don't carry the misery into tomorrow. It hurts too much. And the more light that you have, the more that it hurts to feel even a little bit of that old stuff. It's so dense and heavy. I couldn't step backwards. I couldn't stand it. I would disintegrate if I had to go backwards. Please take the gifts of the 1111 gateway and use it all day long whenever you need it. So as we stay humble, or try to anyway, then we cultivate gratitude. If you live in an attitude of gratitude, more of that wonder that's making you feel so blessed will happen. You'll draw it to you. Now, my kids used to say, "Why are you saying thank you to God when you were crying all day?" And I said, "Because tomorrow I'm going to be laughing all day because I took care of what I had to." And they'd go, "Oh, Mom." But it was true. It was true. Nothing is bad that you do for yourself. It's all good. It's all very good. So we could be in denial and say, "I'm okay right where I am." Or we can say, "You know what? If this is the totality of my divine expression, then holy Christmas trees, I'm in trouble." There's never a glitch in it. There's never a glitch. If you could only see what I see, I have to sometimes close my eyes because you have so many beautiful beings around you. I mean, beautiful beings. If you saw them, you'd go like, "Wow, they are so spectacular." They're all yours. They're devoted to you. They've been traveling with you for I can't tell you how long. Some of them have turned very gray. You're wearing them out. Help them out here. But the attitude of gratitude, when I was studying to be a minister, let me tell you, that was drilled into every one of us. Because at the time we were all going through a lot of cleansing, mentally and emotionally and spiritually. And so it was a lot of mixed emotions. People kind of got on each other's nerves. And when you're in seminary, let me tell you, you can't get away from each other if you try. And that was okay. It really did a lot for me. And also when I travel, we were all a group and we had to deal with each other's good days and rough days and temperaments and everything. So when you're in a state of gratitude, and I'm telling you, please make it an everyday, constant state for yourself. Keep saying thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your food. Thank you for the beauty around you. Thank you for the fresh air. Thank you for the water. It tastes so good to me. I bless it. And it tastes delicious. And Charlie goes, "How can you drink water all the time? You got to have something else." I said, "No, I don't. It tastes delicious to me." Bless your water. It'll bless you back. Embrace courage to seek guidance. When you're afraid to ask for help, that's when you leave yourself idle. You can't do this alone. I wanted to do it alone. Miss Big Shot over here. When I was really young, I said, "I don't need anybody. I can do this." And my angel stepped back and I struggled. Sometimes I got through it, and other times it was really tough. And then one day I said, "Well, I really do need help today. I'm going to ask for help." And everything went so smooth and so easy. And it wasn't an easy day that I had ahead of me. I said, "Oh my God. Oh my, could this be how life could be?" And I started practicing it. What a difference. Yes. What a difference. As you choose to open yourself up and humble yourself, allow the help to come, life will bless you every day, and you will look at everything as a blessing. Everything. Even when I see an ant in my house, I still know I'm blessed, even though that gives me the creepies. Sorry, I had to put that in there. So seek guidance. Look to the beings of light around you. Look to your higher self. Look to those that are working with you. your own soul. Seek the wisdom that is already yours. You worked for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years to gain that wisdom. Tap into it. A gift that's already inside you. Now, the whole talk about the twin flame. Let me clarify something for you. Your twin flame may already be in your life, or maybe always was in your life. Yes. Allow that thought to be yours. Does it have to be some magical prince or princess come running into our life? No. They may already be there. Look at those closest to you. Look at those that love you. Kind of unconditionally most of the time. But that doesn't mean because it's your twin flame that it's going to be an easy road. Because when two beings are exactly alike, come out of the same soul, there can be friction with sparks as high as my 6-story tower. I'm telling you, it isn't meant to be easy. They will challenge you. They will work you. They will give you what you need and not relent, because it means you're working as a team. But where does this have to start? It has to start inside you, to have peace and forgiveness for the male-female polarities within your own being. This is where it starts. And when you reach that mystical marriage of those two polarities, you can meet and embrace. And then sometimes they're already there and just recognize, holy moly, that's my twin flame. Some of you had a twin flame in your life and they left. They left. So don't discount them. They're waiting for you on the other side of the veil. Others of you have them with you right now. Others will meet them in the near future, and I mean the near future. Yeah. Be excited. It's a really holy time. And it doesn't mean it has to be a lover. It doesn't mean it has to be a male-female type of relationship that you have, like a marriage, or it doesn't have to be that. That's not what this is about. This is about bringing yourself to the pinnacle by being pushed by someone who absolutely has an investment in you because you're come out of the same soul. Yeah. There's reams of information that we could talk about that I already know I haven't downloaded in me, that we could talk about this one topic. But I'm telling you, you work on you and everything will come to you. You don't have to seek it. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to fight for it. Just work on you. Work on you. Work on that polarity within you. Come to peace with the male, female. It's very, very important. Self-esteem. It comes back to the stroking. If I don't feel a sense of myself, what would I do? I reach out to anybody that's going to help me feel good about myself. A lot of people who didn't get this as children, I did not get that, go through this stage, sometimes for life, unless they realize what they're doing. Always seeking mommy's approval and daddy's approval. And it's something that really hits us very, very hard and holds us back from really growing We don't have that self-esteem. But you know what? Don't seek it outside yourself. This is all about you just being you. You're so unique, each one of you. It's just remarkable how unique each one of you are, how you approach things, how you deal with things, how you love, how you don't, how you think about things, how you manage your life. We're such individuals. Concentrate on being genuinely you, just you, the genuine you, not somebody else. Don't copy somebody else. That's their gig. That's not yours. And everybody knows it. And when you do it, they see how you're not genuine. You're not who you are. Seek to be you. Who are I? What do I do? How do other people see me? Look in the mirror. Ask people. You have friends. Sit down and say, so what do you think about how I dealt with that? You think I could have been a little softer? You think I could have been a little nicer? Oh, okay. Okay. Good. I'll practice that. But you go to people you trust, that you love, and that you know loves you and accepts you. This whole thing about the perfection, oh my gosh, what is it anyway? What's perfect for so-and-so is not perfect for another person. What's perfect anyway? Hmm? Be light and easy with yourself. Laugh when you don't accomplish something perfectly. Don't be anal retentive like I was for 50 years, having to be perfect. Did you ever refine a letter so for like hours and hours and hours and hours, and finally you just say, you know what? Whatever's there right now, I am so done. I can't do it another time, even though I know it's not perfect. Lighten up. Stop trying so hard. Just enjoy life. Find the joy in what you do. Are we happy going to work every day? I am so happy not doing that anymore. I'm telling you, the last day that I worked, it was like the happy dance on steroids. And then I said, uh-oh, what's my identity if I'm not a legal secretary? Okay. I gotta get an identity. No, you don't. You're a divine being having a human experience. So how am I going to have my experience? Give that some thought. What do I want to do? What do I love to do? Do it. For heaven's sakes, do it. And even if you're working, make time to do what you love to do. Do you love to read? Do you love to draw? Do you love to paint? Do you love to watch movies? What do you love? Do it. Do it. You like gardening? Get out in that dirt. I had my fingernails so full of dirt the other day because I was replanting plants. It's not easy to get it out from under long nails, let me tell you. But it was so joyous. There's a man here. He's like a mad scientist. He's retired, but he's still the mad scientist. And he was gardening, and he says, you know, I don't know why someone like me is enjoying gardening. I said, because you're out of your head for 15 seconds out of your life, and you're actually enjoying doing something without having to give it all this thought and figure everything out all the time. And he said, I'll have to think about that. I said, of course. I can't wait to hear his answer. Okay, so self-esteem. You give it to yourself or you take it away from yourself. You see, this is all about you. It's not what you do that gives you self-esteem. It's about your heart. How much do you love yourself? That's what you can really build your self-esteem with, the love that you feel for yourself. And this isn't like, oh, I'm so wonderful. No, no, it's acceptance, acceptance of the self. That's what I'm talking about. Brace yourself for something on the horizon. Forget about bracing yourself. Just go forward. Don't worry. Just get out there and live your life. Make it an adventure. I know you're not all Aries and that isn't your thing, but I'm just saying, kind of look at life as a great adventure. And I know a couple of you personally that you really do look at life like that. You love life and you love to be part of it and you love to be with people and you love to be in places that you really have fun and you can entertain people with. It's a great way to live. It really is. And then there's another side of us. Did you ever notice all the comedians that you've ever known in Hollywood, kind of comedian people? They had such a horrible dark side on the other side. And it was like the clowns. I was scared to death of clowns as a child because I knew that that facade on their face was not what you would really, if they took off the makeup, what you were going to see. And it scared me terrible. And I didn't like masks either. Masks freaked me out. And I don't mean the COVID masks. I mean, masks, especially around Halloween. They're very scary for me because of how I think and I feel. So I can feel the energy of a being. Doesn't matter if I couldn't see it all. I can feel who's in front of me. And if I'm looking at what doesn't represent the same thing that I'm feeling, it shakes me up pretty bad. Who are we hiding from? You can't even hide from yourself. You can't. Because you're always going to be there. And people are going to start telling you and bring to your attention who you are, even if you don't want to recognize it. Fear, the biggest enemy of all times, is fear. It doesn't exist. It's a created state through all kinds of psychological mulling in life. If you're always looking at the past and being unhappy with what you've done, you live in fear because you're afraid that those actions are going to come forward into your life in the future. If you live in the future and always you'll be afraid because you don't know what's coming. That's why Jesus said to stay in the holy moment. Stay in the moment. That's all you have is this moment in time. And everything that's going forward is based on where you are at this one holy moment. Can you imagine? Because whatever you're thinking and feeling, it is perpetuated into the next moment. And then it is magnified and brought into the next moment, unless you change your mind and even yourself out and center yourself and bring yourself back into love. Let go of fear. It's your enemy and it isn't real. And it has no power over you whatsoever. Only what you give it. Embrace the dawn of new beginnings. Wake up in the morning with the feeling that everything is going to be like so amazing. Look at that day that hasn't even opened itself up before you yet. See it as a wonderful, amazing day. Ask the Christ in you to greet the Christ in all beings that you're going to be with so that you can have the most wonderful interactions. I was on the phone all day making business calls. Let me tell you, first of all, the language differences were really hard, but I put out that love, and you should have heard the conversations that we ended up having. This much of it was business. The rest was all love. Live your life the way you want to. Live it in love, honor, and respect for yourself first. Everything starts with you, and bring it to everyone you're with. That is the life of a divine being, even in a human body. And the 1111 Gateway is helping us to accomplish this every day of your life. I'm going to rest there. And thank you for listening. Anybody that's listening to this on the YouTube, I want you to know that the video and the song that we're going to play will be posted under the comments underneath the title of the video on the YouTube. So you won't miss anything. You just have to use the link and go there. So that song was so beautiful. Trust your timing. Don't think you have to be like anybody else in the world. Just trust that your life's unfolding just the way it's supposed to. You're right where you're supposed to be, and everything is in order. Trust. It's a biggie. Thank you. So tonight's topic is 1111. We all looked at it from many different angles. Some of us saw it as representing a being. Some of us saw it as a feeling of peace and comfort. A lot of people did. A lot of us were looking at it as a gateway, a time for prayer, a time for committing ourselves to, for me, it's the I am prayer. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. Keeping it very simple to the point of who we truly are. So however you look at the 1111, it is a very real structure, a structure for movement of energy. Look at it that way, perhaps. And I encourage you to look at not only the moment of the numbers showing up, but also how you feel about the numbers, because different numbers have different meanings to each one of us. We identify through our name because each letter has a number assigned to it. And believe me, you chose your name. That's why with certain people, I always call them by their full name. Like I don't say Greg, I'll say Gregory, because that person needs to fully come into their whole vibrational frequency. And when I say the full name, it's because I know that that is something that is required for that particular person. Like saying somebody's name like Deborah, right? When I'll call them Debbie, because they say they want to be called Debbie, I will call them that if I know that their full frequency is already anchored and I don't have to call them by their divine name. I can call, well, not so much their divine name, but their chosen vibrational name. So you'll see that, I mean, I've had people question me, why do you call so-and-so by their full name, but other people you don't? Well, that's exactly the reason why. I can see energetically who needs to be grounded into their full frequency of their name. The numbers, the tone, the sound associated, the whole gamut. So that's why that happens. But numbers have different meanings to us. So like when I see 444, not only do I know it's almost dinner time, but I also know that I like the numbers. They feel good to me. I like foundational things. So it makes sense that I like it. And then you look at the 4 4s and you get the number and then you add it up and you see what that means to you. 9 and 1 has always been the pattern for me. It's always new beginnings and always endings. And so it was very fitting that I had the name that I did and the birth date that I did. All of you investigate these things, although people think, oh, what, what's the big deal? Boy, I'll tell you, everything's a big deal when it comes to you. Everything. You chose exactly the moment you were going to come in, exactly when the planets and stars and everything was lined up just a certain way to support you in your journey. Everything is important. Everything about your name is important. And if you have a middle name, add that in there. And if whatever your birth name, last name was, and then your married name, if it changes for you, see what that frequency has to do with you. A lot of women like to keep their maiden name. I don't think it's healthy. I think it's very important to take on the marriage name because it's changing the frequency from your childhood. And a lot of us would love that because our childhood was so messed up. So it really is helpful. It's very helpful to take on that new name. For those that don't, it's fine too. It's choice. Everything is choice. But when you're educated and you understand why things happen the way they do and what it could mean for you to bring that frequency to another direction, because the numbers change according to the letters of the name. So life is a beautiful box of craziness that comes together and makes it all make sense. Yeah. So the 1111 was a very important evening topic. And not only because of all of the 11 reasons that they gave of empowerment and looking at ourselves and really reflecting and searching to come into ourselves in the way that it helps us. It also is because of the numbers themselves. To me, this gateway is the most powerful gateway for a prayer to be answered. It's almost like you use a funnel, or if you notice, people use a megaphone and it kind of, empowers that sound to go out into the universe, because that's how everything is created, through the word, the spoken word. It's created. And so when we send our prayers out there and we send out our visions for the future of this world and our part in it and what we would like to do to help that, this is all manifesting. And the 1111 gateways can help us really greatly magnify our efforts and our thoughts and our words. So remember that. You're very powerful beings, very powerful. You have gifts and talents that you just take it for granted that you can do these things. But believe me, there are people that would give their pinky finger to be able to do some of the things that you guys do just naturally, because you have the natural inclination, the natural talent, interest, and practice. You love to do it, and you get better every time you do. Give yourself the credit of what you do naturally and easily, and let people see you shine and honor yourself, and they will reflect that back to you. It's very important. So the message that always echoes through every single topic that we talk about comes back to you, the divine being coming into yourself. And everything that we talk about is to help you get there in a direct form, not going left and right in circles. We go straight and narrow down that path that's been set before us, written about by others of great minds, and practiced by many hundreds of thousands of people. That's what their life is all about. Try to make it part of every day of your life. This is why we came here. All the rest is just to keep you busy or distract you. But the real reason you're here is to evolve into yourself, to become totally you, to really be you, and to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I kind of like you now. I really do. I accept you. It's okay that you're not exactly what I wanted. I am who I am, and so are you. And as we look at ourselves in love, we're able to love others that we normally would just kind of comment about and maybe find fault with, or they don't measure up to what we think that they should. And all of those ego-driven thoughts that go through our mind. As we start to love ourselves, we can actually love others, even those that are unlovable. It is an attribute. It is a gift to be able to love the unlovable. I've had plenty of them in my life, believe me, and I learned to love them because I loved that part of myself. Finally accepted it, that's part of me too. Yeah. And it's okay. It's what makes me an individual. So when you love yourself, you're halfway there. You're more than halfway there to loving everybody unconditionally. It is a wonderful path, painful path, a long, long path to get to that point, to be like the Christ, to love unconditionally, that no one has to love you back. No one has to do anything to give back to you, and you can still love them. That's unconditional love. And boy, let me tell you, it takes a lot to get there. When you can actually honestly say that, I can love you just the way you are. First, you got to do it to yourself, though. It only works that way. Whatever you want to see out there, you've got to do and see it in you. And when you can do that, we're talking mastery here. That's what a master does. It isn't something that's unattainable, or you think of the great master teachers, like they will tell you personally, if you sit with them and talk like we're going to do this evening, they'll tell you their story, that they were just like you and me. And it took them many, many, many rounds to get to where they are. And it's taking us the same way. But we have a lot more help now because of all those that made it before us. And so invite them in. Be willing to humble yourself and ask for help. We all need it. And we all deserve it. And that's the other side of it. Do you feel you deserve that help? I didn't think so at one time. No, but I do. I do now. And I love it. And I milk it. From combing my hair, which really needs help, to anything that I do. I ask for help. And I'm telling you, it's like magic. It really is. Because the universe itself and all the beings of light in it want to help you, make it easy for you. If you like to struggle, go for it. Those days are over for me. I've had enough crawling on my hands and knees, begging. Never beg, never beg. A master does not beg. We speak with authority, but lovingly and respectfully. Yeah. And you can stand in front of anybody in any position in the world with your head held high and say what you need to say. Yeah. I did it. I stood before people honestly, I don't know where I had the guts to talk to them, but I did. Wherever I went, I didn't care what position they were in. They could be a king, they could be a leader of a country, that I didn't care. I could stand and say what I needed to say. And I'm even more bold now. But I have the respect and integrity and everything that I need to deliver it with love and respect. This is part of what they were talking about, not to get full of yourself. Do not ever get full of yourself, because the second the higher entities working with you cut you off, you'll be standing there sucking your thumb like a 3-year-old and saying, "Oh, what just happened? Why aren't I the big shot I thought I was?" Yep, you'll get knocked right on your butt. And humbling is good, but it hurts very badly. So remember, it isn't really the little me that's so bold and wonderful. It is the great I am expressing through you. That's what it is. And when it's tempered in love and respect, let me tell you, you could do anything. You can create anything beautiful and holy. So with that, I'm going to close. We have a date and I'd like to keep it. I can feel that they're closing in and getting ready for us to be doing our trip this evening. So thank you so much for listening, and God bless you all.
We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.